just to finish up with the X platform, I was really curious what you thought, Larry, of the community notes on X. And
Yeah.
this is something that Elon believed I thought was maybe the solution to moderation, which I think obviously is one of the biggest problems on Wikipedia and many other places. You could argue, the editors of the New York Times have the same problems. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the theory of community notes is that you allow the the opposition to your point of view to correct errors on both sides. I don't even know exactly how that's done, but I believe it's done that way as a way to show how neutral that is. I'm curious what you think of it and what you know about it, and if you've actually seen that proof. And then I'd love to hear your thoughts on neutrality.
Um, I can't prove that it's successful. I can give you my opinion that it is pretty successful. So the way it works, my understanding is anyway, that when somebody submits a community note for evaluation, then if the opinion is divided, generally speaking, on partisan lines, then it's just ignored. But if people who have traditionally voted against each other in similar disputes, I don't know how that's ascertained, um, then but they agree on this case, then it's promoted and shown to the general public. So I actually am in the community notes program. So I have some insight into how it's working on the back end, and people submit a lot of different competing community notes on hot button topics. And, it's, to my mind, it works well simply because a lot of times there is an objective fact that has been left out of somebody's X post tweet. And it's possible for large numbers of people to acknowledge that, yes, indeed, there is this study, or there is this news report, or there's this statement by the person concerned that throws light on the situation.
Yeah, it's helpful. It's
It is
because
very,
I
yeah.
think sometimes almost like a blatant piece of misinformation that might go by in kind of the maelstrom of posts. All of a sudden, it's like, no, that video was not a drone attack on children. That was from a science fiction movie. Or, it'll just come out and say, no, actually, that footage is of Maduro 12 months ago, not 12 minutes ago. And then it's just a nice piece sometimes where you're like, oh, oh, oh. And in that sense, I think it's quite helpful. I guess maybe that ultimately could be game too, because I know when you set up Wikipedia, this concept of, moderators, it's a bit like communism. It works great in theory. But in practice, it always doesn't work. So just real quickly, before you go to neutrality, you mentioned various actors. And I was wondering if you could talk about, your thoughts that there are many, many actors on Wikipedia, from intelligence agencies globally to PR firms to all sorts of other people with agendas that spend a large portion of their time editing posts on Wikipedia, which I would argue, Larry, your average American would not ever believe that's happening.
Perhaps not, but we are told, right? And we have some evidence of this happening, right? And so I don't claim that Wikipedia is controlled by the CIA. No, I don't claim that. I've never claimed that. I don't know to what extent it might be true. All I'm saying is we are told.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.
That spycraft has changed in the last generation. That previously it involved collecting information about the enemy, and perhaps a little bit of propaganda on the edges through things like, I don't know, Voice of America or whatever. But now we are told that spycraft, to a very great extent, means using whatever tools are at our disposal to affect public opinion in the interests of the national interest, right? And that means then that it has been established historically that spy agencies, and I don't just mean American ones either, are very much engaged in the business of shaping public opinion in one way or another, right? If that's the case, why wouldn't they be spending time on Wikipedia? Why wouldn't they cultivate relationships with the most effective players, even hire them? Now, so I think some of that has to be happening. And in fact, one of the former CEOs of Wikipedia is on the record essentially saying that she has engaged in conversations with government agents and surrounding the COVID stuff, basically. So they tried to coordinate, she admitted, what sort of information would be shared on Wikipedia so that it was in line. The implication was so that it would be in line with government dictates. Now that's very disturbing to me as a libertarian free speech kind of person. When the government gets in the business of massaging what the people shall believe, that is a problem. The extent to which it is actually going on Wikipedia, we don't know. We do know that there is it's a fairly big business that PR firms are doing, like what you have done, paying people to massage your reputation on Wikipedia. You wish you didn't have to do so, but the fact that apparently, if you can afford it, you do have to do so in lieu of being able to sue someone, which you ought to be able to do but can't. Well, that means that other entities, including government and corporate entities, can use the same sort of PR tactics. And again, surely do. They wouldn't be doing their job as PR people, would they? Of course not.
Yeah. And it's probably great ROI, whether you're a PR person or whether you're an intelligence agency. Why send 100 agents in the field when you can get 10 people online changing narratives? It just makes sense. And
to continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website, londonreal.tv, or click the link in the description below.
Hi, it's Brian Rose from London Real. You probably know that we've just recently been re-platformed on YouTube after 25 months completely in the dark. The truth is, I really need your help. What I really need you to do is click on that subscribe button right now, like this video, and maybe even leave a comment or share the link with friends. We're really fighting against an algorithm that's tried to keep us quiet for so long. And the more subscribers we have, the more people watch our content, the better guests we can bring you, the better content, and we can continue transforming lives. We've been doing this for 14 years now. I want to do this for another 14 years, but I really need your help. So click on that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, share this, and we're going to continue to bring you more and more great content. Thank you.